Vanakkam, dia duet, and Privyet Ukraino. Hey, it's time for Green Shorts. Today I want to do a simple upgrade to my stainless steel smokeless fire pit that I made out of a couple of pots that I picked up at Walmart. Now I built this to go with the camper that Trevor and I are building. By the way, Trevor is behind the camera today. Say hello, Trevor.
Hello.
Initially I built this smokeless fire pit for aesthetic value. Just that nice campfire when you're sitting around the camper, something that's pretty, it throws off some heat. But it made such a good flame that I was curious if I could also cook on it. It would be a shame to just have this serve one purpose. So today I'm gonna make a pot rack that's gonna go on the top of this to come on and off so I can use it for my initial purpose, the aesthetic beauty of a fire, and then also be able to use it to cook. My initial thought was to make it out of this chafing dish rack that my dad scavenged for me, but I think this gauge is probably a little bit light. But I do have some 1/4-inch round stock and some small pieces of bar stock, and I'm going to use that instead.
Alright, it looks like 1.5 ought to be just about right. Alright, so I'm gonna let this fire die down and get to work.
The Japanese maples in my backyard are in full color right now. That got a nice red one there, an orange, another red one, and that one's kind of yellow, just beautiful. The one in the front yard's even brighter. Actually, I'm gonna douse it so I can use some of this biochar. So I'm gonna bend a right angle into 3 pieces of the round stock, and I'm gonna set it up with 3 arms like this, and then I'm gonna create 3 rings to connect those pieces. Of course, these will be folded down. These vertical posts will sit down inside the stove, and then I'll have pins on the edges at the height that I want it. This is not to scale. I also want this to be able to flip upside down and nest down inside the stove for travel. So I'm gonna make my vertical post 4 inches long. Hey, train's here. I was hoping I can bend this without heating it, but I think I'm gonna have to heat it. Eyes and ears, JW. Alright, and those are my 3 pins. This is actually the bottom that I cut out of the larger pot for the stove, and I'm going to trace this out here because that will tell me exactly how big that opening is. Try to get this evenly into thirds with my eyeballs. So one of these I'm going to be able to leave solid like this. The other 2 I'm gonna need to cut where they cross the middle. I transferred my 3 lines. I'm not going for perfection here. And a little bit of black paint will make this look pretty nice. As they say, a grinder and paint make you the welder you ain't. And now for a quick test fit. I'm going to leave these longer so that I can use it with a wok as well. I think the upside down position will be perfect for that. Now I'm going to make some rings out of the flat bar to tie all the spokes together. I'm excited because I get to use my new tool, which is a ring roller. It'll turn bar stock and round stock into rings. I'm going for 7 1/4. I gotta tighten this up a little bit more. Alright, this is close enough that when I weld it, I can adjust. I'm going to start by tacking one end down and then working my way around.
I think I'm actually going to stop with these 2 rings. I think that's plenty enough support. I'm going to take this outside and clean it up a little bit with a grinder. Always got to remind myself this is still hot. Gonna hit it with some high temperature Rust-Oleum. Not a sponsor. Let this fire die down a little bit before I try and cook on it. It doesn't take a lot to get this thing burning hot. One thing I may need to add to this is some kind of a heat shield to keep the fire from coming out the side where the handle is. It's long enough that it shouldn't get hot, but it's wood, so it might catch fire at some point. This is my recycled pot, so I'm not too worried about damaging it, but it's something I can use to cook outside, so I don't want to ruin it necessarily. I just got some water in here right now. I'm going to see if I can get that to boil, and then I'll start experimenting. I know I can boil eggs. I do want to see if I could do a stir fry. If you have any suggestions about something I could cook on this, leave that in the comments below. Rolling boil is what I like to see. And I didn't have to use a lot of firewood to get here. This fire pit is really efficient. I'm really happy with how this grill grate turned out. It's not perfect, but it's perfectly functional, and that's what I'm going for. It also gave me a chance to practice some welding and to use my new ring roller, which I'm really excited about having that tool in the arsenal. It's also gonna make this stainless steel smokeless fire pit more versatile by allowing me to use it for aesthetic beauty and to cook on while I'm camping, or right here in my backyard. Special thanks to my patrons and members for helping make these videos possible. I really do appreciate your vote of confidence. As always, my mission here at Green Shorts is to help you see green so you can be green, and save a little green by doing it yourself. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next Saturday.